Directly from decks played in the competition and talks about that. But we're jumping into our first game, Mango vs Gengur. Guys, talk to me about who you think has the advantage, how this game is going to play out, and why is USA or Canada going to beat one or the other?
I guess you're looking for a fight.
Well, I'm not going to go into USA versus Canada, but I think Gengur has a slight edge, mostly because he's been a long-standing competitive player all the way back from the beginning, from what I can remember the tournament scene being with the EXG tournaments. Not so much any longer, but he's had a good run of it. What do you think, NV?
I definitely agree. It's hard for me though, because I've been casting both of them for so long. I gotta cheer for both of them, but I can't. So yeah, I'm just kind of indifferent. Whoever wins wins.
That's fair. So looking at the starting hands, it actually looks like Mango has a perfect on the play Alice curve against Dragon, which is exactly what you want to see against Dragon. But Gengur also has good reactive plays in Dragon Warrior and Sybil and Fervor, so he's got pretty much everything he wants to. Like, how do you think this game's going to shape out?
That's true, but as we can see, this Alice curve is just it's starting and it's not going to relent anytime soon. He's got Hector next turn, so.
And a very good odds, I would imagine, at getting the benefit from Hector as well, having 3 other neutral cards in your hand.
Right. It's Dragon Warrior's going to come down and try and do what it can, but I mean, if he doesn't draw the trigger for Hector here, this is actually pretty good.
What are you doing?
Yep. Without the trigger here, he's going to have to evolve to kill the Dragon Warrior, but he does. He gets there.
Yeah.
On the warfield, a shining helmet.
Easy peasy. So basically, for those of you who don't know, like the way this matchup goes is Mango's playing a very aggressive deck, and it's trying to end the game as fast as possible. It does have some late game potential in the fact that it could draw cards like Felice, which is a big Storm follower. It could draw into more Hectors to deal damage to face. And Dragon's really trying to get to that end game where it plays its big followers and just pushes over once it establishes board control.
Right, end game being mid game for most other decks. It gets there through ramp.
Right.
And he has a pretty good hand for answering this. Even though if he wants to play Sybil this turn, he would have to evolve her in and lose her. He does have Breath, though, so...
Yeah, I kind of like the Dragon Warrior this turn because it opens up either Fervor or Sybil plus Breath next turn, which is, I'm pretty sure, going to take over this game. I don't see Mango unless he draws something a little bit more efficient than these 2 and 3 drops to actually compete with what Gengur's doing.
That's true. This sometimes happens with the neutral deck. It just kind of draws, I guess you could call it duds after a while.
Yeah, like basically you get that perfect curve to start with, and then you just keep top decking 1, 2, and 3 drops, and you're just like, crap. How do I finish this game?
Yeah. You're drawing goblins and Lyrials, and you're just like out of evolves, and not even Alice to buff them, and it's just like, you know, they don't do anything.
Now, to say, Gengur doesn't really have a lot of his late game options yet, but he does have card draw in the fact that he has 2 Fervors in his hand, which gain 3 life, draw 2 cards, and ramp you. So he's still playing the draw into game, but so is Mango. So realistically, this is just an off-the-top game, because Gengur is at 10, so any good top decks, especially if Mango is running cards like Gilgamesh, which I've seen become a lot more popular these days.
Gilgamesh is, he's not making a comeback since he was never actually a thing, but he's becoming kind of popular. Ooh, there's Oz. That's exactly what Mango wanted to find. He needed to find cards that, you know, did something, so this draw was strong for him.
That's right. This Wizardess of Oz is the Draconic Fervor on steroids for Neutral Rune. It puts you up to 5 cards in your hand, reduces all non-spell boost cards to 1 so that you can get a good tempo turn.
Another fiction.
Exactly. Both players getting, well, Dragon's already on 10, but Mango getting close to 10. He does have Grimner to hit the board for 4. It doesn't hit face anymore, but hitting the board for 4 is not bad.
It'll pretty much clear up anything that Mango has. That was a perfect draw. Now he can actually play that Wizardess into Dance of Death, yeah. Although, if you're Mango, do you want to save that Dance of Death for maybe a Bahamut or perhaps the Zeus that's going to come into play, or do you think he's just going to pull the trigger right now?
I think you kind of have to save some stuff. Ramp Dragon's been something we've been playing against for a very long time. Yeah, he's going for the board control with the Sybil here. This is just, you just kind of have to... Ramp Dragon can grind you out, but you have to play around their threats. You can't just let Zeus blow you out of the game.
Right. And we see him flood the board. He knows that his board might get taken away here, but he drew another Wizardess of Oz to refill the hand, so he just wants to dump. Basically, just get all the value you can out of his hand, refill with Wizardess, and just keep continuing. That's one of the strengths that Neutral Rune does have.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Sparkly stuff. Gimme.
Goblin Mage finding Illyrial. He does have Alice, too, so this is not bad, although a second Grimner is just gonna...
Yep, second Grimner wipes this away and just continues Gengur's push here. And now he's got the Sahakul with the Zeus for an extra 10 damage. So Zeus by itself, very good. It's a big 5/10 Stormfather with Bane and Ward, so it's really hard to deal with. And with Sahakul, you actually get an extra use out of Zeus if he needs it. But this game is looking like it's coming to a close pretty soon here.
Right. Which is kind of what Ramp Dragon just does, makes things come to a close. It's been a while since we've seen Grimner Wars, too.
That's
When's
true.
the last time you saw Grimners go with it?
That's true. Okay. Well, that Grimner actually did stave off Gengur for a turn. I don't think he's going to go with the Zeus. Oh, never mind. He's going to use it to clear board instead of go face, which is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. You do tell your opponent that you have the Zeus, but it's like, you know, Mango assumes you've got something. It doesn't really matter what you show them at this point. Ooh.
Right. That's pretty good. That can push. Now, if you notice, Gengur went from 10 all the way back up to 19 in the interim of Kirmango just kind of bricking here. So Kirmango's got a lot of work if he wants to try to win this game.
This is, again, Ramp Dragon's second specialty. They just keep playing healing cards while while you try to keep up with the big things they're playing.
Right. And I think Gengur's only mindset right now is, I'm just going to keep playing threats to force Kirmango's to play his, you know, mutagenic bolts if he has them, Dance of Deaths, so that he can then play his Bahamut or Zeus to end the game. So right now we're just seeing a card trade-off type of game here.
Although it will take a while to get Mango out of value like that, since he did just draw another Felice, and he also has the Wizardess to make dance. One, he does just play Wizardess though, only drawing 2 in their Goblins.
Ooh.
Oh god. That is.
I don't mean to laugh, Kirmango, I'm sorry. But I know how that feels.
Terrible.
Yeah. Goblin's not a card you want to be drawing on turn 10.
It triggers Hector, at least.
That it does. He kind of put himself in a situation where he can't dance and also kill the other Sybil, so he's just gonna have to deal with that.
Right.
He also has to make the decision if he wants to keep the Goblin. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So he goes face here. Sybil just heals 3 of that though.
Oh wow, another Sonic Well. I imagine his turn's just gonna be the same.
That's actually great for Gengur. He can just Ooh, he's actually gonna play the Zeus out, flat out.
Interesting.
It's another fiction.
Yeah.
Not sure why he wouldn't want to get the extra use out of the Sonic Well. Yeah.
I think he wanted to keep the ward on the board to protect Sybil, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. However, as we know, Felice and or Hector can come down and take care of that Sybil. So I think this turn's probably going to be Hector, just because it puts the ward up and protects his face a little bit. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, here we go. He's actually going to take care of... He's actually not going to take care of both of them, because that won't evolve without the enhance. But she trades with Hector. Ooh, that's a good draw.
Easy Bahamut, and says, Gengur's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to end the game. I just drew my con flag to clear the way for Bahamut to hit face. And the reason why that's important is because Bahamut can't actually attack face if your opponent has 2 or more followers in play.
Exactly. With that Conflagrate in hand, Bahamut can easily tank 3 Conflagrates and be fine. But the the board of Mango can't.
Yeah, And that's it for this game.
Show's over. Impressive.
Gengur doing this one in style. I liked his play. I think the Zeus play might have been a little, I don't know, aggressive with that Zeus because he had the Sonic Will, but other than that, that was a pretty straightforward game. Kirmango just kind of ran out of gas and didn't have what it took to finish off Dragon there at the end.
Exactly. I agree 100%. Gengur with some really good ramp dragon play there.
Yep. And now he gets to play his Haven deck, his Seraph deck. So let's see if Seraph can actually take out both of the aggressive decks of Kirmango, because Mango's bringing Rune and Blood here. And Seraph, depending on how you tech it, might have a hard time with this lineup.
I guess you're looking for a fight.
That is true, but Mango's going first again, and he's got a pretty good hand for it.
Alright, so Kirmango has the Alice curve yet again. We see him with the one... He's missing the 2-drop, so not the perfect curve this time. And I'm sure he'd rather see Goblin than Wise Merman on his 1-drop slot, but not that big of a deal versus Haven, because Haven doesn't really have anything to contest a 1-drop. No 2 for Mango, unfortunate. And Gengur here is thinking, maybe Hollow Dogma to draw some cards, maybe Blackened Scripture just to stave off damage, especially because you know Kirmango did miss the 2-drop, and you can see on Kirmango's face he's not very happy about that. Okay, so Gengur opts to draw cards instead. Says, you know what, I need more options right now.
Yeah, the card draw is a bit more important. But this curve, though.
Yes, missing the 2-drop hurt a little bit, but because of the Alice, not that bad. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see the Alice this turn.
Yeah. Although, drawing second Oz there is kind of... Your hand is not really getting buffed by this. He got... Out of 4 cards, only 1 got buffed by Alice there, so it's not the best Alice in the world.
Right, and Priest is here to easily clean up this board. And as we can see, Gengur already has most of the combo in his hand already. With the Instatued Seraph, he already has 1 Amulet Reducer with the Sister Initiate, so all he's really trying to do is make sure he doesn't die before Seraph comes down on turn 8.
What in the...
He needs to get the pressure going if that's going to happen, though. Felice, regular Evolve here, still gains Storm, so is able to go face.
The only follower in the game that when you evolve it, it doesn't just get Rush, it gets Storm, so can go face. Very fun card.
Yeah, very, very fun, yeah.
Very fun, go face, the best. Alright, so I imagine
so
just Radiant Angels down here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, his options are basically just that. Like, he doesn't have much of anything. Nothing in his hand is very, proactive against this this Felice or anything else that would support it. Prism Priestess is interesting here. Is he going for a Blackened Scripture?
That's what it looks like. Yeah, Evo and Blackened Scriptures to clear board.
I'm strong because I'm good.
Really banking on the fact that he needs to clear this 4 damage off the board, otherwise he might slip too far behind here.
If Felice hits you for 8, then that's bad news.
Yeah,
definitely bad news.
A lot of value. Alright, so we see Kirmango just emptying out the hand to prepare for Wizard of Savage, just like last game.
Crystals of snow shimmer in the night.
Gengur does have Snow White into Tribunal, though, for a full clear here.
Your kiss will awaken me.
Yep, easy full clear, and gets to keep the Snow White afterwards. Not a bad trade.
The nerf to Snow White's toughness actually helped him there. If she was still 3 toughness, that wouldn't have worked.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, Snow White, for those of you who don't know, actually gets a sweet ability that when she dies, she actually comes back into play evolved again. So she gets to attack with Rush an extra time. This is why she is legendary.
I am a flower. I bloom on stage.
That's her Dying Wish. Ooh, Oz coming down. No mana to work with, though, since he did play.
It's true, but no downside. No spells were drawn, so even if Wizardess dies here, nothing will be discarded for Mango.
Exactly. Mango has this this ability to draw goblins. He
Is another
continuously keeps drawing his goblins.
Yes. Alright, so Gengur's still sitting on just the one Sister Initiate to pop the Unstatued Seraph, but the board is looking pretty clean at the moment for him to drop it. Depending.
Yeah, exactly. Mango's pressure has been kind of, he's gotten damage in, but most of his pressure has been staved off, and, yeah. Mango knows that he has to flood in case, so he has to make Seraph unsafe, basically.
Yeah, this is an easy Themis. The reason why Themis here instead of Unstatued Seraph is because if you look at the Tribunal countdowns, when they die, they actually destroy a unit on the opposing side. So he's basically just lining up his Tribunals with the Seraph so that he can safely play it.
Mango's only plan this turn is going to be just to flood again, but like you said, that Tribunal will take down one for free. Snow White can attack that 2/2 Unica, and then a 3/3 is all that's left on board when he slaps down Seraph.
Which is definitely safe enough.
Ooh.
Oh. Maybe not.
He's not going to let that trade happen. He's not going to accept losing that 2/2 Unica. This could be bad, though, if Tribunal snipes that 5/3. And, of course, it did.
Of course.
Of course.
This is still a pretty dangerous board, though. I don't know if he's prepared to drop this Seraph here. I don't know if he can afford to wait either, though. Like, if he doesn't drop Seraph here, I think he might start getting far behind enough that he might not be able to drop it at all.
Because Gengur is out of Evolves, and because he drew his Sister Initiate there, actually, he only needs 3 activators to just win, and he has 3 draws next turn.
That's right.
Mango having to come up with 5 damage, even Felice can't do that. So I think this is the only chance you're going to get to play Seraph.
Yeah, and as we can see, he does not have 5 damage in his hand. He has 3 from the Hector,
right,
and that's it at the moment. And yeah, like you said, Sacred Plea is gonna die as well as the Tribunal, so he's gonna get 3 draws at the start of his turn to get that 1 extra countdown remover that he needs, and that's what it looks like he's doing here.
Mango has to draw 5 damage, which is... it's a lot. I mean, Double Hector does do it, but he doesn't have 2 of those.
Doesn't look like he's gonna get there either. So this is a big sweat from Cure Mango here.
Gengur needs 1 more activator on 3 draws.
Can he do it? This is
One more.
the
You usually
clutch
play
turn.
9 activators, so I don't know.
This is the and just end your turn, Mango. Just end it. Let me see if my fate is
He
sealed.
doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to see it happen.
Right.
Bloom on stage.
You know, we'll snipe Oz, of course.
And
Got the Feria. Ah, that's not an activator.
oh no,
That's not an activator.
That's
He
not an
didn't get it.
activator.
He doesn't have lethal. There's no way to stop this without Tribunal, I don't think. Or at least
no
with Themis.
Themis' decree
Those-
to clear off the board either. That's it. That's game.
Tribunal had to snipe something more than a 2/2 for this not to just be game.
Yep.
That's not an activator either. They're so deep. He was so far away. No, Gengur.
Ooh. Good on Mango. Didn't throw in the towel. Just kept doing what he had to do. Got there. Good on you, Mango.
He got there for sure. I mean, you can't just surrender to. You gotta make him have it, right? Don't just surrender.
Of course,
to it.
always, especially in a tournament. If you know what, I'm gonna say this as a PSA for all competitive players. If you concede in a match that's worth this much money or potentially a lot of money, don't concede. Just play it out. Your opponent might not have it. Come on.
Exactly. Your opponent also might just, you know, it is possible. These are the best players in the region, but they could also just misplay. They are human.
That's right.
So.
That's right. We have seen Miss Lethals, so it's on your opponent to win the game.
Yep.
So this looks like a very aggressive Bloodlust. I'm not sure if this is Vengeance Blood or just Aggro Blood at the moment. It's running kind of cards that you'd see in both.
Mm-hmm. That is true. The Baphomet is especially interesting, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm. I've actually been toying around with Baphomet and Goblin Mage in aggressive blood decks just to keep cards flowing. Like, it's really good on curve. It just keeps your hand size the same. It's nice. Okay, so this is looking like aggro bats then.
Yeah, this
Divine is the
is
telltale
without
sign.
the Baphomet, without the Angelic Knight. Actually, this looks like bats. I don't know. The Knight throws me off. a little bit.
Right, yeah, the knight was the card that I'm like, well, this could be vengeance. But
Like,
naturally
why is that not
speaking,
just a fight, right?
right, exactly. It makes bats.
Ooh,
Angelic
very
Knight
nice.
doesn't.
No!
Yep, very nice top deck there. So naturally in this matchup, like we said previous to the match, that Blood has an advantage here because it is a very aggressive deck. And as we saw, Seraph kind of needs to gamble a little bit against aggro on the turn that it plays Seraph. And he's on the draw here, which makes it even worse. Being on the draw against an aggressive deck such as aggro Blood like this makes it just that much harder.
It does, but Mango's not exactly doing anything progressive here. I mean, his next turn's also not that great with him breaking 2 Sabors in hand, so...
That's true. The Angelic Knight will be able to push for a little bit pre-Evo turn, so 1 extra damage, not the worst. Ooh.
True. And Gengur's not holding a cudgel or anything, so...
And he decides to play the Beast Call over Scripping here. I don't know if I like that play.
It
Gets an
does
extra
open
2
him up
damage
to
for
more
his troubles.
danger. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's also not on 5 either, so he wasn't... His plan here, I think, is Scripture into Dogma on Arya. But he drew Cudgel.
Yeah, he was planning on that. Oh, it looks like he's doing it anyway, instead of the Priest of the Cudgel. Okay.
It's gonna also play... Oh, he can't play Cudgel, never mind. Yeah, Scripture into... Yeah. I mean, you clear the board. You also put a 6/4 on the board here.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah,
has
very
to be
heads-up play
answered.
from Gengur.
Done for.
Very heads-up play from Gengur. Having the Hollow Dogma makes the Beast Call a little bit more effective because you do take the extra damage the turn earlier, but then you have a full board clear like you saw this turn. So I really like that play.
I also love the Evolved Tiger here because, as we see, Mango's hand is really useless against it. Like, Sabroir will die in the trade, and then Big Knuckle Bodycard, BKB, wasn't even able to kill it. So...
That's right. Decides not to Evo the Sabroir to kill the Tiger, which is probably smart. He just wants to save all of his Evos for damage.
Mhm.
And taking damage from the Tiger, not a huge threat against Seraph, because Seraph's not really trying to win through damage.
May you rest in
Right. Realistically, he knows that Gengur will make that trade for him anyway. Ooh, he's actually going to evolve a Sister Initiative anyway to keep the Tiger on the board.
I like it. Aggressive. He's like, you know what? You're not going to evolve to kill this Tiger. He's going to show you the business.
This Tiger's... Oh, no, man. That's 1 mana away from just being amazing with BKB.
See what he decides to do here. He could play Vanya Evo to finish off the Tiger. I don't think you can allow it to stay in play for an extra turn. And then that also does allow him to play something else.
Yeah. Gengur has, like... He's still got an Evolve left to do that exact same play again. And he's demonstrated that he will keep this Tiger in play. He doesn't care, you know, what you're doing. He'll evolve over something else and keep hitting you with this Tiger. So it has to be removed for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mango deep in the tank about this one. He's like, how am I actually going to finish my opponent off here? So technically, unmitigatable damage here. He's got the Vanya for 1, he's got the Sabroir for 2, and he's got the Angel of the Word for 1. So he's only got 4 damage. That's uncontested at the moment.
It's me, Vanya.
It looks like he's going to bank in 2 of that while also getting rid of the Tiger and leaving a Bat and Angel on the board.
Go, Blood King! Go!
Okay. I feel like this could be a Cudgel or a Themis. I think Themis is more likely just to save the Evo point. Oh, never mind. A lot more options here.
Ooh. Well, if you Cudgel, you don't get the Frog, but, I mean, you could Radiance Angel this turn. Looking for more activators for your Seraph is important, so...
Mm-hmm. And as we see, Kirmango doesn't really have the Storm Followers that you would normally see a lot of in Aggro Blood. He doesn't have any of the Implancers, which is the 6-play 0.36 with Storm. He doesn't have any more Blood Wolves, which is the 2-play 0.21 with Storm. So he doesn't really have a lot of get out there and kill you stuff. But of course Gengar doesn't know that yet, so he's got to play like he might die. Because you always can't.
Right, Gengar does need to play around potential. He's actually going to Dogma this Beast called Arya. I think Gengar's off the Seraph plan.
Completely off the Seraph plan. I think he's just trying to maintain board control while also threatening lethal to make Kirmango play defensively, which is exactly what you don't want to be doing when you're playing an aggressive deck. Once you shift from being the proactive player to the reactive player as an aggro deck, you start losing a lot of value in your cards.
Exactly. All of a sudden, Big Knuckle Body card becomes a burden because it's hitting you in the face. It's perfectly fine when played aggressively, but when played defensively, it's definitely not amazing. So,
the only play I can really see here that's safe is to play the Savoir into the Summon Bloodkin, or even the Angelic Knight, just to protect the Big Knuckle. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Check this out.
and we see there he actually does just take the 2 damage. So both players at 9 now, but he does have a ward that can come down. I imagine instead of the Summon Bloodkin will be what happens here.
Yeah, if the Big Knuckle's the play, then he's definitely going to follow up with the Angelic here. Especially because we see Gengur's out of Evo points, so there's not like an easy way to get around this ward.
Right. If Cudgel were, oh my gosh, if Cudgel were possible, this would have been really bad for Mango. But he does just draw Blackened Scripture, which lines up perfectly with his Radiance Angel already in hand. So.
Perfect turn for Gengur. Ooh, is that good enough?
I don't think that's safe. He's gonna go for it anyway. Wow.
He's like, you know what? It's Caraboss time. Let's go, baby. So what Caraboss does is, once you play it, you stop getting play points at the beginning of your turn, so he'll stop at 8 for the rest of the game, but you deal a damage to your opponent and draw an extra card at the end of your turn. So it's kind of like the end game for the aggro decks. It helps you draw more cards, helps you finish off with damage, and they don't really need the play points, because nothing in the deck really costs more than 6.
Right, the Caraboss is the top of the curve. Gengar could throw his 2 minions into her and then play Seraph, but he doesn't have the activators to make that quite worth it. The only problem is that every other play he's got is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Outside of killing the bats and playing Tribunal, that's not that bad, because you also get to play the Frog.
Yeah, I like this. He's just going to stay consistent with his game plan of maintaining board control, gaining life, and then trying to put enough damage in play to just end in 1 turn if he can.
He can attack for a total of 8 right now, which is just 1 off lethal, so...
1 shy. Imagine we're going to have to see the Savoir this turn, yeah. Ooh, face.
For sure. It's still going upstairs, too. Mango knows his deck. The only way it's going to win is if he keeps going upstairs with everything, so...
That's right. He's not going to win this game by taking the board back over. Not a chance.
The second you start fighting for board against Haven as an aggro deck like Bat Blood, you will finally get it back after their evolves are gone, and then you just get Themis anyway, so...
Right, exactly. They have reset options, whereas the aggro decks do not.
Exactly. Not worth that fight. It's also unlikely that Gengar, outside of Beast Call Aria, that waited a turn into Dogma, it's unlikely that Gengar has any real reach here, so the damage you see on board is realistically all he can do to you anyway.
Right. And what Gengar's kind of deciding what to do here is, do I maintain the same game plan of trading board and then just playing followers? And I think he's starting to realize that if he does that with the way that Kirmango is playing, just by sending everything upstairs, he might just start falling behind. Because so far, he hasn't actually had an opportunity to attack face yet. And if he keeps going this way, the Caraboss plus extra cards is just going to outvalue Gengar's plan.
Yeah, exactly. Because Gengar is playing... He's playing followers that are more on the defensive side of things, where Mango is playing purely aggressively statted followers. Except for Ampling Wraith. That one's just a 1 mana 1/2, or 1 play point 1/2. It does do 1 damage on the ETB, but we see Gengar going for trades here now.
Okay, so this was the big decision for me with him. Was he going to go face
There we go.
and just try to race, or is he just going to go with the more defensive plan? Looks like he's going with the defensive one, which makes sense.
I love the
Doesn't wanna
shift
take
in
any
gameplay
chances
for Gengar, though. I think he realizes that if he gets the Seraph down, he has that inevitability that Mango, with only 2 cards in his hand at the time, could not, keep up with.
Right. And now he does get to use the reset button, as we saw before, or as we said before, with the Themis' Decree. Ooh.
If he does Themis and not heal, though, he doesn't have any activators, and he can't heal. It's not possible.
So this is a big gamble turn. Kirmango has a lot of top decks here that will just win the game outright.
Mango actually might be rewarded for just going face every single turn. He knows that if Gengur heals, the option is less likely, but if he gets 2 damage even...
Your evil deeds end now.
Yeah, he needs to find 2 damage off the top just to seal the game right now.
1 draw, Mom Spaghetti. That could be a Blood Wolf. That could be a Blood Wolf.
What does he get? Ooh. Mango. Mango's living on the edge of his seat right now. I can see it in his camera too. He's like, come on, baby.
Yeah, he wishes that was a much better draw. So he can't show the Razor Claw. Actually does.
Does anyway. That's very aggressive.
Wow. It is. There's Karabos. She actually will be lethal if no heal happens or Seraph wins. He has no activators, so Seraph can't win. Frog Cleric, though. Coming in with that hot enhance. 4 mana 2/2 will heal you for 3.
Baby. This is Cure Mango's turn right here. He's got to top deck something.
Claw is still lethal. Blood Wolf
That's
is not lethal. It's 1 off. Oh no.
It's 1 off.
Mango. Oh no.
No.
He's so sad.
You can feel him sink. Oh no, Mango.
Yeah.
We feel for you, man.
Always 1 off, man. Come on.
That's the new meme. Always 1 off.
That's the struggle of an aggro player too. You send everything upstairs every possible turn. You almost never fight for the board, and then at the very end you just end up being 1 off anyway. It doesn't really matter anyway.
What a good game. Both players showing mastery of their decks throughout the entire game.
No!
And we see how close it is. 1 life off. 1.
1. At least Mango can take solace in knowing that his next card was not Razor Claw. He knew that off those 2 draws he was not going to have drawn lethal if he was 1 card deeper. So at least he can know that.
Yes.
There it is. Cure Mango will take his first loss here against Gengur, and I think that's actually a good... Gengur kind of lost his first match last week, so now he's bouncing back, putting himself up 1-1, I believe. And so, talk to me a little bit about that.